Discovery and pursuit. Dr. Elena Vasquez brushed away the fine red soil from what appeared to be a fragment of human bone. The sweltering heat of Proxima Centauri B's summer beat down on her back as she worked, but she barely noticed. After 3 years of excavating this remote colony site, she had finally found what she was looking for. Proof of human settlement dating back nearly 15,000 years. Liam, come look at this, she called to her research assistant. Liam trudged over, wiping sweat from his brow. Please tell me it's something good this time. The university is threatening to pull our funding again. Elena carefully lifted the bone fragment with her electromagnetic tongs. This is it. Genuine human remains, preserved in the mineral deposits of this cave system. The dating scans indicate it's from the pre-Exodus era. Liam's eyes widened. That's impossible. Humans only left Earth 8,000 years ago, according to every historical record. Exactly, Elena said, her eyes gleaming with the thrill of discovery. Which means everything we've been taught about human history is wrong. Back at their modest research facility, Elena worked through the night processing samples from the remains. She had smuggled specialized genetic analysis equipment onto the planet. Equipment that would have raised questions if declared properly to the Centauri Colonial Administration. As a xenorchaeologist specializing in human diaspora studies, she had long suspected there was more to humanity's past than the official narrative. At 3:47 local time, her lab console chimed. The DNA sequencing was complete. Elena stared at the results, blinking several times to make sure fatigue wasn't causing her to hallucinate. This can't be right, she whispered, running the analysis again. The ancient human DNA contained structural elements that defied conventional genetic science. Interwoven within the familiar double helix pattern were quantum-stable molecular chains, biological structures that should be impossible according to everything she knew about genetics. Elena called her colleague, Dr. Tarek Najafi, on Earth. Despite the 20-minute communication delay, she needed his expertise. The quantum signatures in this DNA are unlike anything I've ever seen, she explained, transmitting the data. It's as if these humans were naturally producing quantum-entangled molecules within their cells. After the inevitable delay, Tarek's response came through. His normally composed face looked shaken. Elena, where exactly did you find this? He asked. And who else knows about it? Just my assistant and you. Why? Delete everything. Now, bury the remains and get off that planet as soon as possible. This is beyond dangerous. What are you talking about? This could rewrite human evolutionary history. It will rewrite more than that if the consortium gets wind of it. Promise me you'll. The transmission cut abruptly. Elena tried to reestablish the connection, but all channels to Earth were suddenly experiencing technical difficulties. 3 days later, Elena noticed unusual ship traffic in orbit. The Centauri system was remote, serving mainly as a mining outpost with a small research community. Suddenly, diplomatic vessels from 3 major galactic powers had arrived: the Viridian Collective, the Arcturus Dominion, and the Orion Consortium. That evening, as Elena was archiving her findings on secure quantum drives, the facility's alarms blared. Security feeds showed armed figures in environmental suits breaching the outer doors. We need to go, Liam said, grabbing essential equipment. They're not here for a friendly academic discussion. Elena quickly gathered her samples and research data. As they ran for the emergency exit, an explosion rocked the building. The lights flickered and died. In the darkness, Elena felt a hand grab her arm. She nearly screamed before recognizing Liam's face in the glow of his emergency light. This way, he whispered, leading her down a maintenance shaft. They emerged on the facility's landing pad where a sleek, unmarked ship waited, definitely not one of their research vessels. Get in, ordered a voice from the open hatch. Elena hesitated, clutching her sample case. Unless you want to explain your discovery to those 3 competing strike teams, I suggest you hurry, the voice added impatiently. Left with little choice, Alina and Liam boarded. The ship lifted immediately, accelerating with such force that Alina was thrown against a bulkhead. By the time she regained her footing, they had already broken atmosphere. Their mysterious rescuer introduced himself as Kiran. He wore no formal uniform, but moved with military precision. His features suggested mixed ancestry, part Earth Asian, part something else not entirely human. "Dr. Najafi sent me," he explained. "He said you found something that changes everything." "How did you get here so quickly?" "Earth is 4 light years away." Kiran's expression darkened. "Let's just say I was already in the neighborhood, watching for exactly this kind of situation." The ship, called the Stargazer, was far more advanced than any civilian vessel Alina had seen. Kiran explained little about himself, but focused on their immediate situation. "3 different factions are after your discovery," he said. "The Viridians, the Arcturians, and the Orions. Each would kill to possess what you found." "It's just ancient human DNA," Alina protested. "Scientifically valuable, but hardly worth an interstellar incident." Kiran laughed without humor. "Just DNA. Doctor, you've discovered the key to true quantum biology, something every advanced civilization in the galaxy has sought for millennia." As they accelerated toward the system's jump point, Alina conducted further analysis of her samples using the Stargazer's surprisingly advanced lab facilities. What she found astonished her. The quantum structures in the ancient DNA weren't just stable, they were functional. The closest analog in modern technology would be quantum processors, but organic and self-maintaining. The implications were staggering. Current quantum computation requires near absolute zero temperatures and perfect isolation. She mused aloud. But these structures function at normal biological temperatures and in chaotic cellular environments, which makes them infinitely more valuable than any technology, Kiran said from the doorway. "Imagine ships that could navigate quantum space without massive energy expenditure, weapons that could target across quantum states, communication that isn't limited by light speed." A warning alarm sounded from the bridge. Kiran swore under his breath. "We've got company. 3 pursuit vessels, 1 from each faction." Alina followed him to the bridge, where tactical displays showed 3 ships closing fast from different vectors. "They'll intercept before we reach the jump point," Liam said, studying the readouts. Kiran's hands flew over the controls. "They're not cooperating with each other, which gives us a slight advantage." He opened a communication channel to all 3 pursuers. "Attention approaching vessels. We are a civilian research ship exercising right of free passage under the Galactic Accords." The response came in 3 different alien languages, automatically translated by the ship's systems. "Human vessel, power down and prepare for boarding." The Viridian transmission was coldly formal. "Transfer the genetic contraband immediately or face destruction." The Arcturus message was blunt. "Gentle friends, surely we can discuss fair compensation for your interesting discovery." The Orion communique was deceptively friendly. Kiran cut the transmission. "As expected. Doctor, I need you to secure your samples. What's about to happen will generate extreme gravitational fluctuations." Before Alina could ask what he meant, Kiran activated systems she'd never seen before. The ship's interior lights dimmed as power diverted to something consuming massive energy. Artificial gravity well in 3, 2, 1. The space around them seemed to bend. On the view screen, Alina watched as the 3 pursuing ships suddenly veered off course, caught in a gravitational distortion that the Stargazer had somehow generated. "That won't hold them long," Kiran said, accelerating toward the jump point. "We need to make our jump before they recalibrate." As they approached the jump point, Alina studied Kiran carefully. "You're not just some courier. Who are you really? And how did you get access to technology like this?" Kiran's expression remained neutral as he prepared for the jump. "Let's just say I represent interests that have been waiting for a discovery like yours for a very long time." The jump drive engaged, and reality stretched around them. In the disorienting moments of transition, Alina noticed something odd. The quantum fluctuations of the jump seemed to resonate with the samples in her case. The DNA was somehow responding to the quantum field. When they emerged from the jump, they were in a system Alina didn't recognize. No registered colonies, no navigation beacons. "Where are we?" Liam asked. "Somewhere safe, for now," Kieran replied. "A system removed from standard navigation charts." He turned to Alina, his expression deadly serious. "Now, Dr. Vasquez, it's time for you to learn why those three powers were willing to start an interstellar incident over your discovery, and why humanity's place in the galaxy is about to change forever." On the main display, a small blue-green planet came into view. Unlike most habitable worlds Alina had seen, this one showed no signs of heavy industrialization or orbital infrastructure. It appeared almost pristine. "Welcome to Haven," Kieran said, "one of the last places where humans have lived freely, without alien oversight, for over 10,000 years. Alina's scientific mind reeled at the implications. 10,000 years. Fats. Before the so-called first exodus from Earth, Kieran finished for her. "Yes, the history you've been taught is a carefully constructed lie. Humanity didn't evolve on Earth and leave 8,000 years ago. We've been among the stars for far longer." As they approached the planet, Alina contemplated the ancient DNA sample that had started this journey. Whatever secrets it contained had been worth killing for, and somehow, she suspected, those same secrets might be mankind's salvation. "Why was this kept from us?" she asked quietly. Kieran's eyes reflected the blue-green light of the approaching planet. "Because knowledge is power, Doctor, and some powers are too dangerous to be allowed to exist freely." The ship descended toward Haven, carrying Alina, and her discovery toward answers that would shatter humanity's understanding of its own past and possibly secure its future among the stars. Revelation and ascension. Haven was nothing like Alina had expected. Instead of a primitive colony, she found a civilization that seamlessly blended advanced technology with natural environments. Buildings were constructed to complement the landscape rather than dominate it. Energy systems were nearly invisible, integrated into the fabric of the community. As Kieran guided their ship toward a landing zone camouflaged within a forested valley, Alina noticed something even more surprising. There were no orbital defense systems, no military installations visible anywhere. "How have you remained hidden for so long?" she asked. Kieran smiled. "What makes you think we're defenseless just because you can't see our weapons?" They were met by a delegation of 5 people, dressed in simple but elegant attire. Their leader, an older woman with streaks of silver in her dark hair, stepped forward. "Welcome to Haven, Dr. Vasquez. I am Director Amara Okafor. We've been expecting someone like you for generations." Alina glanced at Kieran. "You knew I'd find those remains." "Not you specifically," Amara replied. "But we knew someone eventually would. The sentinels we placed throughout human space were meant to be found, by humans with the curiosity and intelligence to understand their significance." "Sentinels?" Alina questioned. "The remains you discovered," Kieran explained. "They were placed there intentionally, genetically engineered to preserve specific information across millennia." Alina struggled to process this. "You're saying the bones I found were what? Some kind of message in a bottle?" "More like a genetic time capsule," Amara said. "Come. There's much to show you." They were led to a vast underground complex beneath what appeared to be a simple administrative building. Inside, Alina discovered an advanced research facility that rivaled anything she had seen in the most prestigious institutions across known space. In a secure chamber at the heart of the complex, Amara activated a holographic display that filled the room with stars, a map of the galaxy. 15,000 years ago, Amara began, humans were among the dominant species in the galaxy. We achieved faster than light travel before most other intelligent species, allowing us to spread across thousands of worlds. The hologram shifted, highlighting hundreds of star systems in blue. Our advantage wasn't technological sophistication, Many species eventually matched or exceeded our engineering capabilities. Our advantage was biological. Elena's mind raced ahead. The quantum structures in the DNA. Exactly, Amara nodded. Human DNA naturally maintains quantum coherence in ways that other species' biology cannot. This gave us an intuitive understanding of quantum mechanics that other species could only approximate through technology. The hologram shifted again, showing what appeared to be ancient human ships navigating through distorted space. Our first FTL drives weren't mechanical. They were biological. Human navigators could perceive and manipulate quantum fields directly, allowing ships to traverse vast distances without the massive energy requirements other species needed. If humans were so advanced, Liam interjected, what happened? Why aren't we still a dominant force? Amara's expression darkened. Fear, envy, the usual reasons powerful civilizations undermine rising competitors. The hologram now displayed what appeared to be historical footage, massive fleets engaging in battle above Earth and other worlds. The scale of destruction was horrifying. As other species developed their own FTL capabilities through artificial means, they formed an alliance against us. They claimed humans were too unpredictable, too dangerous to be allowed unrestricted access to the stars. The truth was simpler. They couldn't compete with our natural abilities. The Purge, Kieran said quietly. That's what our histories call it. A coordinated attack against all major human worlds. Earth was targeted first, Amara continued, not just with conventional weapons, but with engineered bioweapons designed to disrupt the quantum coherence properties in human DNA. 90% of Earth's population died within months. The survivors lost the abilities that had made us special. Elena felt a chill. And the official history. The story that humans evolved on Earth and only achieved FTL travel 8,000 years ago. A convenient fiction, Amara replied. After defeating us, the Alliance established monitoring outposts on Earth. They guided human development, ensuring we would rediscover space travel only when they deemed it safe, after our quantum biological abilities had been thoroughly suppressed. But not eliminated, Elena said, thinking of her findings. The potential is still there, dormant in our genes. Yes. And now you understand why 3 major powers converged on your discovery so quickly. The Viridians, Arcturians, and Orions all know the truth about human potential. They've been suppressing it for millennia. Elena paced the room, processing the implications. The quantum structures I found weren't just stable and fossilized remains. They were active, responding to the quantum fields during our jump. Amara nodded. The Sentinels were designed to maintain full quantum coherence indefinitely. They're templates, genetic blueprints that could, theoretically, be used to reactivate the dormant abilities in modern humans. That's why you've remained hidden, Elena realized. You've been preserving the original human genetic line, uncontaminated by the bioweapons. Some of us, Kieran said. Not all Haven residents carry the full quantum gene sequences, but enough to maintain a viable population. A technician entered the room and whispered something to Amara. Her expression turned grave. It appears your pursuers were more determined than we anticipated. All 3 factions have discovered our location. They'll be here within hours. Elena's stomach dropped. I led them straight to you. No, Amara said firmly. This day was always coming. The question is what we do now. Kieran brought up tactical displays showing the approaching vessels. 3 capital ships, multiple support craft. They're maintaining distance from each other, but they're coordinating their approach. They know we're here. Evacuation protocols, Liam suggested. Amara shook her head. No time to evacuate everyone. And Haven has been our home for thousands of years. We won't abandon it. Then we fight, Kieran said grimly. No, Elena interjected. We talk. All eyes turned to her. If what you've told me is true, then humanity has something all 3 powers desperately want. That gives us leverage. Instead of repeating the mistakes of the past, let's negotiate. Amara studied Elena thoughtfully. You're suggesting diplomacy with civilizations that attempted genocide against us. I'm suggesting we find a solution that doesn't end with more destruction, Elena replied. These aren't the same individuals who attacked Earth thousands of years ago, and if they wanted us completely gone, they could have finished the job centuries ago. They need us, Kiran realized, or at least, they need our biology. Amara considered this. It's possible. Their artificial quantum technologies have plateaued in recent centuries. Without the intuitive understanding that comes from biologically based quantum perception, there are theoretical limits they cannot overcome. Elena moved to the DNA analysis terminal and began examining the quantum structures more closely. I think I understand now. These patterns, they're not just maintaining coherence, they're actively generating entanglement across cellular boundaries. She turned to Amara. If I'm right, then human DNA doesn't just preserve quantum states, it creates them. That's something no artificial system can replicate, regardless of technological advancement. That would explain their interest, Amara agreed. But what are you proposing? A demonstration, Elena said. Before their ships arrive, I want to try something. For the next 2 hours, Elena worked with Haven's scientists, applying what she'd learned from the Sentinel DNA to her own genetic sample. The process was dangerous. Attempting to activate dormant quantum structures in living human cells could have unpredictable consequences. Are you certain about this? Liam asked as Elena prepared to undergo the experimental procedure. No, she admitted. But if I'm right, this could change everything. The treatment was administered through a precision nanoscale delivery system, targeting specific regions of Elena's DNA identified in the Sentinel template. For several minutes, nothing seemed to happen. Then Elena gasped. I can see it, she whispered. See what? Kiran asked. Everything. The quantum fields. They're everywhere. Elena's perception had expanded beyond normal human senses. She could perceive the quantum underpinnings of reality. The probability waves, the entangled particles, the very fabric of space-time. More importantly, she found she could influence these patterns through focused intention. When the 3 alien fleets arrived in orbit, they found not a defenseless hidden colony, but something they had never expected. A human with fully activated quantum biological abilities. Elena stood in Haven's central plaza as communications were established with the 3 fleet commanders. Around her, the air shimmered with quantum distortions that she was generating unconsciously. The Viridian commander spoke first. Human settlement. You harbor fugitives and forbidden genetic technology. Surrender them immediately. The Arcturian and Orion commanders made similar demands, each attempting to claim priority over the others. Elena stepped forward. I am Dr. Elena Vasquez, the fugitive you seek, and I propose a different solution. Using her newly awakened abilities, Elena created a quantum entanglement field that linked the communication systems of all 3 fleets simultaneously, a feat that should have been technologically impossible. For 15,000 years, your civilizations have suppressed humanity's true potential, she said, her voice reaching all 3 command ships at once. You feared what we might become, but in doing so, you've also limited yourselves. She gestured, and a quantum field around her expanded, creating a 3-dimensional model of the advanced drive systems each fleet used. Your FTL technologies have reached their limit. Without biologically based quantum manipulation, you can never achieve the next evolutionary step in space travel. The Orion commander, more pragmatic than the others, spoke directly. What are you proposing, human? Partnership, Elena replied. Not subjugation. Not yours over us, nor ours over you. True cooperation. Humanity regains its rightful place among galactic civilizations, and in exchange, we share our biological quantum insights to advance technologies that benefit all species. The negotiations were tense, lasting for days as each faction tried to secure advantages. But Elena's demonstration had fundamentally altered the balance of power. Humanity was no longer just a subjugated species. They were potential partners who held the key to technologies that could reshape galactic civilization. 1 month later, Alina stood on the observation deck of the Haven Administrative Building, watching as the first official diplomatic vessels landed, representatives not coming to threaten or demand, but to establish formal relations with humanity as equals. Kieran joined her, his expression still cautious. "Do you think they'll honor the agreement?" "They don't have much choice," Alina replied. "With the quantum activation protocol we've developed, more humans will soon have abilities like mine. We're no longer dependent on them for deep space travel or advanced technology. And the threat of renewed conflict." Alina smiled. "That's why we insisted on complete transparency. The truth about human history will be taught throughout the galaxy. No more secrets, no more suppression." She looked out at the stars, now visible as Haven's artificial camouflage field had been deactivated. "Besides, we're not seeking revenge for the past. We're building something new, a galactic community where biological and technological approaches to quantum physics complement each other." Amara approached, carrying a small container. "The first shipment of medical nanites is ready. Once distributed to human colonies, they'll begin repairing the damage done to our species' DNA thousands of years ago." Alina nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. The quantum structures in her own DNA had stabilized, giving her abilities that would have seemed godlike to her just weeks before. Soon, other humans would follow. "Not everyone will develop the same level of abilities," Amara cautioned. "Genetic diversity means some will have stronger quantum perception than others." "That's as it should be," Alina replied. "We're not creating a race of superhumans, just restoring what was taken from us." Later that evening, Alina sat alone in the gardens of Haven, contemplating the stars. The quantum fields were visible to her now, beautiful, intricate patterns connecting everything in the universe. She could see how her own consciousness interacted with these fields, creating ripples that extended outward. Humanity had been beaten but not broken, suppressed but not defeated. And now, thousands of years after the purge had nearly wiped them from the galaxy, humans were reclaiming their inheritance, not through violence or vengeance, but through understanding and cooperation. "Perhaps this is what makes us truly human," she thought. "Not just our unique biology, but our capacity to forge new paths forward, even after the darkest chapters of our history." As distant stars twinkled in Haven's night sky, Alina felt a profound connection to both her ancestors and the future generations who would explore the galaxy with newly awakened senses. The quantum inheritance had been preserved, hidden within their DNA for millennia, waiting for the right moment to reawaken. That moment had finally arrived.